Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Models Workshop After Hours. This is Jin24 coming at you from the new studio. So if you hear a bit of an echo going on, that is why. Right now, for the techno savvy out there, I'm trying to get my Mix Minus working. Basically what that does, it allows me to bring Skype calls in through my mixing board and record and not have a whole bunch of echoes. So what has been going on? Lots. I bought a new house, for those who haven't been tracking. I live in the same state as I used to, but in a completely different area. The bonus is I actually have a workshop, which is downstairs for me, and then I have a studio that's upstairs. It's air conditioned. I have heat in here. It's powered. It has an Ethernet run, and it's kind of weird because it has a cord running from the house over here, but we can't figure out where the cord in the house is. So we're kind of scratching our head, and the general census is we're just going to have to make a new run coming from the house over here where we can find it. We had to buy some Cat 6 cable because we're running gigabit over here, and it's only going to go faster from there. It's not going to slow down. So we're going to run a Cat 6 cable over here, put a new panel in the wall, and run. I'm going to have my Nighthawk 7500 out here, so that'll take care of all the internet needs for the studio, the workshop, and part of our garden and everything else. So there's that. We have got that going on. I've got the painting area set up. I have the presentation area set up. I went to IKEA and picked up some 4x4 shelving units. So I've got those up here, and the games are unpacked. Just slowly getting everything set up. I have my air compressor, got my airbrushes, so we're doing good there. And now I'm working on getting the audio equipment. I should have probably had this done a month ago, but with everything going on with COVID-19 and just worrying about money, and then before that I was buying the house. It was just crazy nuts. I mean, as I'm sure everyone out there who's dealing with this can understand that everything that was going on was just absolutely silly crazy. So, but we're back. We never did go anywhere. I know it's been forever, and we were very sporadic on recording, but I do have the new studio space set up. I have the microphones. I have everything set up. So look forward for us recording again. We're going to get onto a pattern. I hope you enjoyed the UK episode that went up not that long ago. I hadn't even checked its stats. Like I said, things have just been nuts. Now, speaking of nuts, everything getting canceled. So first off, it was ReaperCon. It was Adepticon was canceled. And then now we're just basically waiting for any day now for Gen Con to be canceled, and ReaperCon hasn't been canceled per se, but it's now Reaper Live, and it's going to be online, which is really cool. I really dig that. It really sucks because I wasn't going to be able to go to Adepticon just because of getting back together with my ex-wife, buying a house, and the money just wasn't there. We were paying bills for everything. And so I was planning on trying to get to ReaperCon. Well, now ReaperCon's completely canceled, so there's none of that. I mean, I could plan on trying to go to Gen Con, but I'm highly doubtful that it's going to be a thing, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be canceled as well. But, so hopefully, we're going to be looking at some painting going around and getting some stuff painted. I picked up my airbrushes from my old house yesterday, and I'm looking forward to getting some paint and throwing it down. Now, like I said, the sad thing, I won't be able to see any of my friends this year, but we're doing the best that we can. You know, first off, it was Adepticant. It was the online thing. Linstall really pushed that forward and did a lot of cool stuff with it. Now it's WannaFest, which is the online version of Wonderfest. And once again, Lynn and a few other people are really pushing that. And it's growing and growing. So if you want to find it, you just put in want-a-fest virtual event group. Just sitting at 774 people right now, so that's cool. You know, not a ton, but we're getting there. Adepticant, hell, he got up to 2,000 people, I think. So that's really cool. But George Stevenson's an admin from there. And he's, I can't remember the name of his company. That's so bad. He awesome models. Blackheart Enterprise. If you've seen the busts of all of the villains like Jason, I believe they have a Freddy. They've got the three-headed dragon from Godzilla that I can't remember, Wolfman, Medusa, etc., etc. Anything that you can think of when it comes to horror stuff. They do a lot of horror stuff, and they do small ones, and then they do 1/4, and I do believe they actually have several 1/1s too. So actual regular size. And his models are absolutely amazing. Love his stuff. I got a Jason that's in my painting bag that I'm going to paint because Jason is one of my friends. No, I'm not a friend with a serial slash. No, it's one of my favorite horror dudes. So that and Freddy Krueger, but I was really feeling the details. Other than that, there's a lot of Kickstarter goodness that's been going on. Frosthaven, the anticipated, not constipated or any of those other pated words, Kickstarter sequel to Gloomhaven came out, broke all the records. It's crazy. I wasn't able to go full bore on it, which there's several people that were like that too, that weren't able to go full bore on it, but they put $1 and it still broke record. That's what's amazing. It makes me wonder what would have happened if this would have been during a non-epidemic stuff. Now, you could argue that people were also using possibly some of their money that they got from the government to back this, so maybe that's why it's high. I am not as lucky. Mine went towards Bill because I am barely skirting by on Yay. But yeah, it's crazy. Here's the numbers. I'm over here on the campaign. Look, $12.7 million. And there was $13,550 in the $1 or more pledge, which gives you pledge manager access. So that's another 13,000 people that are likely going to be backing this at the random okay, so the cheapest bundle to get the game is $100. And so let's say of those 13,000 people, 8,000 of them actually play the $100. That's still another $800,000 that's going to go to the Kickstarter. That's absolutely insane. No, but if you haven't seen it and you want it, or you want to get like everything, there's actually a bundle that gets you everything that includes Gloomhaven, Frosthaven, all of the expansions, removable sticker sets, and I believe the storage. They actually partnered up with the Broken Token people to get the organizer included. And if you've seen Gloomhaven, you'll understand, like, holy crap, there's a lot of stuff in that box. And there is a lot of stuff in the Gloomhaven box. And I'm going to imagine that Frosthaven is going to have probably just as. So stretch goal, final 24-hour special stretch goal. If we get it together, every game will have additional character class. And they got it. So they got one additional character that's included in. There's so much. You can just like scroll down and you're just like, it's nuts. So it's $160 MSRP for Frosthaven. If you get in on the Kickstarter, it's $100. Sadly, I think it's pretty expensive when it comes to shipping just because of the sheer weight of this. But honestly, I think it's definitely. And honestly, it's $80 for the add-on for the Broken Token. It is really tempting. Real. Oh man, you can also add on Gloomhaven itself for $100, and it's normally $140. So that's actually a pretty cool add-on. I'm looking through so much stuff. So much cool. You need to stop looking at this. You're just going to hear my wheel, and I promise, just Frosthaven, which is about the same thing, if you ask me. So, I have mixed feelings about people running Kickstarters during this period. Some, I don't know. I don't think it's a great idea. I don't think the money is there because there's so many people out of work. But it also, some people are getting a lot more money than they're used to because the extra $600 getting kicked in on the unemployment. So maybe it is a great time to go ahead and back this. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Board Game Backpack. By Geek On. No new Kickstarters that jump out at me like, buy me. Mike is saying that Jeff and him did their first hobby stream on Saturday talking with you guys right now. Basically, it's me talking. I need to eventually see how loud that AC is, but Oh, man. I wonder what he's doing. Maybe I should call him. Should I call him? Oh, yeah, so hobby time. Hobby time is hobby time. Doing lots of hobby time. So what have y'all been up to out in the great painting realm? Hopefully lots of goodies and lots of paint being thrown down. You haven't been a slack ass like me and not get anything done. I got stuff done. I did get the entire studio kind of set up, and that wasn't exactly super easy. We had to paint it and everything. We're dialing in. Hey, Mike, you're live on Models Workshop. What are you up to?
Nothing. Just got home from work. Andy's
working on getting the studio ready and getting the sound stuff hooked in and letting people know that we're not dead and please don't unsubscribe from us. You know, that type of deal.
Didn't the UK guys just do it? I've got it in.
Yeah, UK did a podcast. I've got it up.
Cool.
I got it up a few days ago, and then I'm just letting them know that we are still alive too. And as soon as I get the cords handled and a headset or some cheap old earbuds hooked in, I'll be ready to rock. It's just right now it's kind of in the waters. Plus the data connection out here kind of sucks a lot.
Yeah. Well, and you're also separate in the house.
Yeah, I actually did. So it's somewhere between 120 and 100 and I forgot what my pace count is. So it's somewhere between 120 and 140 feet between the router and my computer, and it's going through the house and everything else. And my studio is actually separate from the main house. Like I've done some video streams, and I was leaning the camera out the window so you could see the rest of the house. But
once you get it, we'll have a complete separate studio from the house.
Oh yeah, our big thing is making sure to. Well, the problem I'm having right now is finding the damn cable, because apparently not all outdoor Cat 6 cable is built equally. Apparently there are some that are sensitive to UV rays. Did not know that. So
that's why I was asking, messaging back and forth at that blue stuff. But I think that's more indoors than it is outdoors.
Yeah, that's pretty much straight indoor stuff. The stuff I'm looking for has like a really thick black coat on it, and it has to be marked as UV resistant, or you face having it just degrade and stuff. So
sure.
The cheapest I found was a 500-foot roll, and it was just shy of $100.
That's a lot too. You can't find any smaller rolls, huh?
No, it's either like 150 or 500. I can find 150-foot stretch of cable, and then I could probably find a 200 if I looked, and I will. But the funny thing is, no, not so funny, but the pain in the ass thing is that there's only like one or two companies out there that make it. I'm sure there's some book out there that you can go and open. It'll have every single different type of freaking cable there is. But
right.
I was like, okay, maybe Lowe's has it. Nope. Lowe's has it has outdoor Cat 5e cable, but Cat 5e cable is maxed out at 1 gigabit. And my current internet is 1 gigabit. And I don't really want to get slower cable than the internet I have here. And it saves me like $15. I'd rather pay the $15 and get outdoor Cat 6 cable that can go up to 10 gigabit for when they finally upgrade around here.
Yeah, that would be the way. You might as well, if you're going to spend the money, you might as well plan a few steps down the road. So if you got to spend a couple extra bucks now to get the better cable, you might as well do it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Spend the extra cash and just pick up the good cable, run the line, make it last once. My only other option is to actually dig a conduit underground. And I'm like, no, I'd rather spend Yeah. And it would be about 140-foot run. And sadly, it's under some concrete pads too. So, nah, I'll get the one that I can hide. And then...
Yeah, just stretch it across the the property, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. I just have to find the UV resistant stuff. It's just I want to get this gone, and not gone, but going like right now. I want to get it going right now, so I have internet out here, so I can get the cameras running, because I have the cameras here. They're set up. I have the microphones here. They're set up. I'm talking on one of my mics. I have the mixers here. They're set up. The computer is as well, but I'm running off of a wireless signal, and it's getting like 8 or 9 megabytes a second. So I'm getting less than 1% of.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah. If it was sitting at like 50 or even 25, I would feel a lot better about it running outside, but it's not. It's just kind of weak. So it's like,
no, ain't worth it. That's why I upgraded everything at my house, because we were having a lot of signal issues, just because my house is long, and it was trying to get from one end of the house to the other end of the house with streaming TV, and it was just a nightmare.
Yeah, that's how we are too. Another reason I don't mind getting a 500-foot box is I'll use some of it to probably run some hard lines downstairs into the basement where we have our streaming machine and most of our video games and our other computers at. Because
and also you'll have some extra, so if anything ever happened to the line you run, you'll have some extra.
Right. Even after running the basement line, I'll still have more than enough, because the new house has a fully furnished basement. Our home theater's downstairs. We actually have a little movie room now. We have a computer, video games, everything else downstairs.
I'm so jealous. You got a studio, a theater, you got everything.
Yeah, the studio's sweet.
All I got's the heat.
The studio's pretty sweet. I don't have the exact measurements, but it's probably close to 20 by 15.
Oh, that's sweet. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's a good size space, and I was able to paint it. It has tons of plugs.
I saw all your posts with the paint. The color looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's like a really dark maroon up top, and then an orange, and then we're going to be doing some stuff. And we've got black 4x4 cube things from IKEA, the ones that people store their board games in. Which, imagine this: I have my board games stored in them, and plus some of my painting stuff. I've got a.
That's how my whole desk is built at home. It's just those cube thing shelves with table desktops going between them.
Yeah, actually, I didn't copy your design exactly, but I did take inspiration because I have the 4x4 hooked into the corner piece desktop from the Lilliput desk corner piece that runs into a standard normal Lilliput tabletop that's hooked by those brackets you said to a 2x4 cube thing on the other side. So it's like, I mean, you've seen the pictures, but to try to describe it to the people, it's this big corner desk. The corner desk itself is all the electronics. That's its entire purpose. No painting stuff. It's where the computer is. It's where the monitors are. It's where the router, the microphones are actually hooked to this desk. The mixer's on this desk. The only electronics that branch off from here are actually the cameras, and then I'll have USB extension cords coming from the computer itself. And then I have a painting desk, and it's the one that I've had forever.
Right.
I've done some other modifications. I've got a pegboard behind it now. I finally was able to pick up my airbrushes, so that's awesome. But then the normal Lilliput top that's hooked to the 2x4 is eventually going to be like any type of presentation or unboxing that we have to do, or just sitting here and talking to the people will be done at this desk.
It's going to be a nice, clean space. Nothing, no paint splatter, no nothing. Just clean.
It's a clean space, so if I want to do a box thing, and I'll probably eventually pick up like a neoprene dust cover, kind of like a very large mouse pad or a gaming pad, put it over the desktop so I can have pieces laying out there, not worry about them getting damaged. And then, of course, I'll have the camera set up in such a way that you can see what's going on there. I've got a 920C and a 922C camera ready. And then I also have a, what are they called? The ones that plug into a regular camera and then run into a computer. Graphic, huh?
What are you talking about? What?
Like a graphic interface that...
Oh, like a capture card?
Yeah, a capture card. There we go. Yeah, okay, I have an external capture card.
It was the doohickey that went into the whatchamacallit that did the thing to the computer.
Yeah, I've got an Elgato, so eventually what I'm looking for is like a little camcorder, like a Sony, older Sony camcorder that I can use to also stream with as well, and that'll be the one that...
Jeff and I use the Sony Handycam, which has HD quality. It's a relatively inexpensive, like $200 camcorder.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to be looking for.
Yeah, and it has an HDMI out jack. It's a mini HDMI out jack.
Most of them are.
You can just plug it in and you can flip the screen and do all this stuff like you do with a regular camcorder. It's got a good zoom feature, does macro quality. You can really zoom in on stuff. So yeah, those work beautifully. And Jeff and I just started streaming again, so we're pretty excited about that. We had our first hobby hangout on Saturday.
Yeah, and where can they find you at on that whenever you're not here at the workshop?
What's new with Mike and Jeff? We're on Facebook, so that's where everything's being done right now. Is just off of Facebook.
Yeah, we got to bring Jeff here on Models Workshop too.
Oh yeah,
grumpy old bastard.
He is grumpy. He's up for it though. Yeah, we just he's finally settled in Maryland.
Sweet.
So he's doing good out there. He's just doing commission painting.
Oh wow!
And he still works with the shop locally here in Arizona with Imperial Outpost Gaming.
Interesting.
Well, what he does, he does some of the ordering. He has really good relationships with a lot of the vendors, so he does some of the ordering for more the model side of things, like tools and model kits and things like that. And he also organizes, like we had a model show scheduled up, but then the COVID-19 thing happened. But he organized events like model shows, and we do our annual Grumble Bowl, which is a Blood Bowl tournament, and we do a quarterly 40K tournament, 40K OG. So he still comes down and organizes and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Grabbing up those frequent flyer miles. So how have you been doing with the COVID stuff? You been working, or they?
Yeah, nothing changed for me. Business as usual. Go out and do your job and be safe. So for the wife, on the other hand, Andy's a registered nurse, but the hospitals really didn't get hit out here. So like no one's at the hospital, so she's actually losing hours.
Wow.
Just simply because nobody was, everyone was told to stay away from hospitals. They're going to be flooded. And it just never really happened. So either we got fortunate in Arizona and got ahead of the curve and we just never really saw that big surge, or I don't know, maybe the surge is going to come, so we don't know. So
yeah,
we're doing okay. How about yourself?
I'm okay. I was supposed to go to work tonight. I was actually supposed to be leaving like right now, but then they called and pushed it out until the 18th. So I won't go back until now the 18th. So doing the unemployment thing, and that's given me a lot of time to work on the studio, get things done. But the problem is it doesn't give me a lot of money to get things done. So it's like the getting the Cat 5 cable or Cat 6 cable. It's kind of like, well, it's $100. Well, when I was working, that wouldn't be such a huge deal. Right now, it's kind of a big deal. So it's kind of like, poo.
Well, unemployment's what? Well, they're giving you the extra $600.
Yeah, and for
federal, and then whatever your state naturally gives you for
$390. So I'm getting $990, but that does not equal my normal paycheck. So
not even close.
So for some people out there, I was talking about this right before I called you because we were talking about the Kickstarters and how it was kind of, maybe it was silly, but with all the federal money floating around, maybe it was the perfect time to launch it because more people were in on it. I'm in that odd situation where even with the federal money getting kicked in, I'm not making as much as I normally would on my normal paycheck. So we're making it work because I don't have the on-the-road expenses that I would have if I was on the road, eating and stuff like that, which saves a lot.
Stuff.
And the fact that we can't go out anywhere, we're not eating out, so we're doing a lot of home-cooked meals, which is actually saving us money in the long run.
Sure.
So, and then we just haven't been buying any superfluous BS. So
it's not fun to go out and do anything, though. That's the problem.
No, our big thing is my oldest son, Xavier, and I will drive to Muncie, and we have one area on Charles Street that we go and sit, and we play Pokemon. And then we have like 8 different places we'll drive down and we'll stop, sit there for a minute or two, drive down and stop, sit there for a minute or two. And we make this loop about 3 or 4 times, and then we go home. Or we go to one of the parks and we hunt Pokemon, but we don't get out of the car. We don't go do anything. We don't talk to anyone. We listen to music and play Pokemon Go. And while it gets us out of the house and into the sunshine, it's just not the same either. And the one cool thing is, even doing that, I mean, it's only like 8 miles down the road. We filled up my wife's Optima, which gets crazy good gas mileage, and we're filling it up like once every 3 weeks at $1.30 a gallon. So,
boy, you guys got it cheap. We're at like $2.17.
Ooh, yeah, we got it. We saw it almost at the dollar level here, and it's slowly bouncing back. But right now, it's like $1.50 is about where it's averaging around here.
Yeah, we were supposed to see the bigger drops just in major metropolitan area, the Valley area, but some of the outside, like Flagstaff, Tucson, some of those places saw some cheaper prices. But it is what it is. You're still saving money because you're not really driving anywhere.
Right. Like I said, even if I do a lap, even if we sit there and play for, I think Community Day, this last Community Day for any pogoers out there, we did the whole 6 hours driving circles, and I think we did 35 miles total for the entire day.
You've got to add some sanity to your life. You can't just scoop yourself up. And if you guys are happy just driving around just to get out for a little bit, that's what you need to do.
And then also, like, the wife and I will go out and we'll cruise the back roads because that's something we enjoy doing. We don't have to go anywhere. Just hitting the back roads and driving around just to get out of the house a little bit. I mean, there's a difference between social distancing and like locking yourself away. We're social distancing. We don't talk to anyone, but at the same token,
have to isolate yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I can't complain. I can't bitch and whine too much. First world problems. I have a miniature movie theater in my basement and a full painting studio outside, and I have a swimming pool now. I really can't bitch too much about being isolated at my house. There's people that have it 10 times worse than, or 100 times worse than I do.
Well, you just moved into your house recently too, so there's still the whole buzz of being in a new home and all the excitement that goes.
Oh, I'm over it. I'm over the buzz of being.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have been home the equivalent of in my terms like 3 years.
Okay, I was still buzzing in my house for like 6 months. It was just fun.
Oh no, it's been fun. It is cool, and we did take the time to paint. So living room and all the bedrooms have been painted. My studio's been painted. We're actually unpacking. We have more unpacked in the first month of living in this house than we did in 6 years at our other house.
When you were moving out of your other house, you probably still found boxes you never unpacked.
No, you jest, but that happened. We found stuff we never unpacked, and we actually got it unpacked here. It's like, oh holy crap.
All that stuff I had, I forgot about.
the worst part, dude, I found modeling stuff I forgot I had. Legitly, I found Ninja Turtle miniatures that I had bought, and I was like, oh, I forgot I had these.
Dude, there's a bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Hot Wheel cars. I don't know if you've seen them yet or not.
No, I haven't, and why did you have to tell me about them?
Oh, I'm
sorry.
Eat. Yeah, there's actually got some cool like specialty cars that they released that are pretty neat. I found them at Walmart, so I don't know if your Walmart will have them, but if not, let me know. I'll pick some up for you.
TMN. I wonder if they're new ones or old. Are they bringing back the?
I don't know anything about the older ones, so they're new to me.
Well, they had Ninja Turtle Hot Wheels. Hold up, are the new? Oh no, these are new 2020s.
Yes.
Oh no, these are new. These are new.
Yeah,
I have the
like
old
graphics
ones
on the sides of them and stuff like that.
I have not seen them. Donnie's is a shit for once. Usually Donnie gets like the B stuff. I love how Raphael is stuck with the damn soccer mom van.
I got the old 32 or the older style muscle car look, or the older sedan look, at like a goldish yellowish color.
Oh, Mikey's?
Yeah.
The rat rod?
Yeah, looking ratty rod. Look, yeah.
Yeah, Mikey has a rat rod. Raphael has a van.
Just because.
Yeah, just because. Looks like Leonardo has it says Roadhog, but it looks like almost like a high-end car. Like
a
Lambo almost?
Supercar, Lamborghini supercar or something like that.
But the motor's in the front.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then Donatello has the Roadster, and then there's one. It's all of them together.
And then there's also, is that the party wagon? Is that what they're calling the party wagon?
Yeah, the surf and school bus, and it has foot stints across the side.
Yes,
that looks.
So
if you see them, I don't know if I'm going to go Walmart anytime soon.
Next time I'm at Walmart, I'll pick some up.
Yeah, I'll give you $5 or $6 plus shipping. It's cheaper. It's cheaper than what this person on eBay, and I still don't.
I think they're like $1.50.
That's still not too bad.
No, it's not bad. I buy them up for gasoline. I chop that stuff up. I've got so many cars because they're 99 cents. How can you go wrong?
Right. I should get into. They have.
Oh, dude, I just.
We actually have been playing some of our games.
Which games?
Call to Adventure. We've been playing Call to Adventure. We've been playing Dungeon Mayhem. Of course, we've been playing some Magic the Gathering, and I want to bust open one of my other games, or bust one of the big games that I bought, like Turtles in Time. I finally got my Turtles in Time Kickstarter, which sucks for the European folks because they're not getting there.
Why aren't they getting there?
Okay, I misspoke. They're going to get there, but the customs people screwed them.
Oh.
Yeah. They came in and they were like, hey, you have to have the specific tags and everything on your stuff. Like, it says that it contains small pieces and this and all this other bullshit. And they never had before. So they were like,
changed the rules for shipping midway after they shipped.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much.
So how's the company supposed to handle it? Like, how are they supposed to get them out of it?
They had to ship them. Okay, they were threatened to have all of them destroyed.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, like it was nuts. All of the stuff that was going on.
Now, this was just simply a labeling issue. Like, they didn't put a sticker on it saying contain small parts, blah blah blah.
Right. But it's marketed for like 15 or 14 plus. You would think that, right. And they even said that they were like, hey, that it's not designed for kids of the age that you would have to worry about a choke warning. So we don't know why all of a sudden we are having to put this. Okay, before I forget, there's also a party wagon that's laid out, not the bus, but an actual party wagon. If you happen to see,
dude, that's a hot car to find right now. I got one so far. If I find some more, I'll pick it up. That's a regular party wagon. It's just it's a regular. It's not a special edition like that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, if I find, but it's like a regular, it's just a regular packaging.
Yes, it's Hot Wheels Screen Time series.
Yeah.
And it has like the Ninja Turtles on it. And then if you happen to find that one.
Yeah, I got one so far. They're hard to find every for gasoline because they're fun to chop up.
I just rather not spend $9 to get one,
Nah, dude, I'll take care of it.
But
if I'm out this weekend, I'll pick up the rest. I've only picked up a few special packaging ones. Because they're just cool cars I want to use for gasoline. I'll get the rest of them, ship it out.
I'll also, if I get a chance to run in, I'll see if I can find any. So, if you can just fill in the holes.
Trust me, man, I got plenty of room for cars in my house. I think I got 1,000 of them.
I'll have to rob my son for some to send to you. But
yeah, Gaslands, I've been, Gaslands obsession as far as miniature game.
Oh, so as I was saying, they basically came down to, hey, you need to take care of this. And they were originally going to print a sticker and slap the sticker on all of them. But I can't remember what the customs people said about that. And customs threatened to destroy all of them, like the entire several containers full of Kickstarter stuff. And they ended up having to have them all shipped back to China to get repackaged.
Just to get a sticker put on them.
Just to get a piece of information on it saying that it has a choking hazard, even though it says that even though it says that it's supposed to be for 14 and over. So people are getting pissed at them, and it's like, yo, guys, it's not their fault. They showed pictures. They were quiet for a while because they were trying to figure things out. And I can understand not wanting to give a false sense of hope or a false sense of dread before knowing all the details. So as soon as they got all the details, they released this massive letter explaining exactly what was going on, what happened, why it was taking so long, and what they were doing about it. And like they included pictures of the stuff from the customs people to show they weren't bullshitting, all of that jazz. And it really sucks because they're getting the short end of the stick and everyone's blaming them. And the product was in Europe. It was customs that kicked it around for what I can honestly say is an unforeseen bullshit.
Well, that's kind of what we're stuck with if you're going to try to ship something to the UK or any place that has that kind of a customs thing in place. You just got to...
Well, they said
play the game, I guess.
They said it's up to the customs agent. I guess if you have one custom agent that's a real dick, they can turn around your entire thing. I was really, That's kind of weird because they even
Yeah,
showed what
you'd
they
think
had on
they
the
would have some
packaging.
standard.
Right.
This is just standard protocol.
Yeah, they showed what was on the packaging, and I was like, okay, why does it have to have a choking warning hazard when it specifically said for kids over 14? I could go look on mine, but I'd have to step away from the mic. But it was of a realistic age in the teens where you wouldn't have to worry about. Rephrase that: you shouldn't have to worry about them choking on them.
Right. Teenagers shouldn't be putting stuff, but
Yeah, but the way shit's been going here in the last few weeks, we can't even. Yeah, maybe now I can see why they have to have that warning on there.
Are you guys getting ready to open back up the state, or is it staying locked down?
We're on a 3-phase opening, and some businesses are opening Monday, tomorrow, and then 2 weeks after that, another category of businesses is opening, and the weeks after that, another category is opening. So the good thing is I've managed to lose weight. I think it's because I'm not eating fast food, and I'm pretty much cooking everything I'm eating, or my wife is. So I've actually lost weight. So I was joking around earlier. It's like my pants are looser, but my hat keeps getting tighter because I haven't been able to get a haircut. I was starting to get shaggy right when the entire epidemic started. So I haven't had a haircut probably since January. So I look like a fucking poodle.
I was in the same boat. I couldn't get a haircut. And then my boss called me. He's like, dude, you're out of policy. You can get a haircut. I'm like, how am I supposed to get a haircut? I don't care. So my wife's out there with clippers trying to trimming up the side of my hair just so it wasn't out of policy for the department. I was just like, oh my gosh.
It's a shame that I'm not closer. I can actually do a decent mid.
Yeah, but I'm actually growing my hair out to I'm doing a 1970s feather.
Oh yeah, you'd be screwed. I could give you a nice high and tight with like a mid to high fade.
Yeah, well, I grew a big old mustache, so now I got my mustache and having short hair. I was like, this didn't look right. So I started growing my hair kind of long and feathering it, and then everything hit, and I couldn't get it cut, getting real shaggy. And then my wife had to cut it. So
we haven't been able to find my clippers because I was like, man, at this point, I'll just shave it. I mean, I typically wear it in a mid fade anyway. So give me 3 weeks and give me 2 weeks and I can go get it cut into a mid fade that I normally wear. But nope, I'm looking like a poop.
Well, I did watch one of your videos or one of your streams. I was like, it wasn't too bad.
It's all curly, so it doesn't look as long as it actually is.
Well, seeing it on video, I guess it's just a little bit harder to tell.
Yeah, possibly. That could be it. But
cool. Well, I'm glad you're doing good, man. I'm glad everything worked out. Everybody's settling, so.
Yeah, everything's good. We're slowly getting things set up here completely with Models Workshop, so we'll be able to get things going. I got to pry Yeji away from her cooking, get her back on.
Yeah, she's been cooking up all kinds of good stuff.
Right?
So what motivated her to start doing that? Just couldn't leave the house?
Well, she's trying to lose weight, and she started a whole new exercise routine, and I think it's just going along with those two things. I think it's just trying a hand at cooking, and I mean, she was working from home to begin with, but now there's no restaurants, and I know those two usually eat out a fair bit.
Sure.
And they're kind of food snob. They're kind of a little food snobby. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Not as if Yeji will listen to this.
You never know.
She doesn't listen to it when she might listen to it now that she's not on it.
There you go. Like, oh, hey, a podcast I didn't know I was supposed to be on.
All right. So quick recap. If you want to go do Frosthaven, head over to Kickstarter. They are taking late pre-orders, and it is an amazing deal. You get the game that's normally $140, you get it for $100. I can attest, if it's anything like Gloomhaven, that box is absolutely jam-packed full of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They had to have had an engineer come in and plan how to put everything. And I felt bad for Broken Token for designing the box holder for everything. Oh, mamma mia.
And what's cool about Gloomhaven and Frosthaven is they're perfect for solo gaming. You don't have to have a group, or you can play with the group. So it's kind of a neat little choose your own adventure. You could do it solo and just have a good time with it. You
can also play multiple groups on the same run. I mean, and it also, if you haven't got into the Gloomhaven, which is the highest rated board game in multiple categories, like if you take all of its scores and average them, it's like the highest rated game ever. you can actually pick up Gloomhaven and Frosthaven for 200, and that's 280 right there, not including anything else, just those 2 boxes. But you also have the removable stickers. You also have all of that stuff.
Coins and extra cards, all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, so you can pick those up.
Though, I don't know what shipping would be for.
It's expensive because man, Gloomhaven by itself. I got the Gloomhaven box sitting over here on my presentation desk, and it's huge. Like you don't understand how big Gloomhaven is until you pick it up. It's massive, and it weighs.
Could you imagine getting both of those shipped to your house?
Can you imagine people wanting to play both of them at the same time? Oy.
Frosthaven, though, is it just the next storyline for Gloomhaven?
Yeah, it's from my understanding, it's the next storyline from Gloomhaven. Like they made almost $13 million off of this, off the Kickstarter.
It went off right at the beginning of like the craziness of the pandemic.
Yeah.
It still made that much money.
It broke every record. I think it's the highest Kickstarter ever.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's either the highest Kickstarter ever or the highest gaming Kickstarter ever. But it was like 13 million. And like I said, you weren't on at the time. There's 13,000 people who pledged $1. If half of those people, just to get access to the pledge manager, if only half of those people order the Frosthaven because they didn't have the money at the time, that's another almost $1 million. It's nuts. They actually they didn't do. I don't think they did any Kickstarter exclusive stuff or extra throw-ins. There was like one item that they threw in right at the very last bit, but they did hire a whole bunch of professional fantasy authors and designers. Like every update was like, we hired such and such who does this story. So it's going to be I think there's going to be a lot more stories behind it.
So it's going to be a little bit more story-driven with some great fluff and background and all that stuff. I know they added coins. Like coins were like an additional thing that you could get that you won't see in the stores. I think that is just through the Kickstarter.
Yeah, I think some of the add-ons are Kickstarter exclusive, but most of them are not, and you don't need any of the add-ons. The removable stickers are, from my understanding, incredibly helpful, especially if you want to replay it. And then,
isn't it like a legacy type game? Like as you're playing it, you open up new characters.
And you level up.
Things happen.
Like all the characters come in little white boxes, and it tells you when to open the boxes. Because someone actually wanted me to paint their set, and I was like, I can't, dude. He's like, why? And I was like, I'm planning on playing it, and I don't want it to be spoiled.
Exactly. Apparently, you would know what characters are there.
Apparently, the miniatures themselves are so detailed, it'll spoil what's coming on in the adventure.
So you can't do that.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, that's interesting. But
it is a lot of cardboard pieces because it's all the dungeon pieces. And,
yeah. And there's also there's like a healthy community. That's another good thing about this game. There's a huge community for it, and they're actually putting out their own stuff, like extra story stuff, extra stuff that you can print out yourself. And it's supported, from my understanding, it's supported by the company. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, go ahead and do that. I think at one point, the guy who created the game released all of the files and all the graphics online because people were scalping copies of Gloomhaven for like $400 or $500. And he's like, before you pay $500 for it, I'd rather give it away for free.
Right.
So at one point, I don't know if it's still available, but you could download and print everything you needed for Gloomhaven for free. Cool. You didn't even have to buy it. Now, you'd be printing out stuff.
Yes.
There's very few games that I'll say, this thing was $140. And
that's not a bad price point for what you're getting.
No, and that's what I'd like to say is like a lot of people are like $140, that's a lot. But it's also a lot in that box. There's no wasted space. Like I said, they had to have had an engineer come in and design how they were going to lay everything in that box, just because everything fits in there so well and so organized. It's like, damn. And it is absolutely jam-packed full. There isn't like little dividers that cause little empty spaces like a lot of games have. No, it's full from the bottom to the top, and the box is huge. And I will say,
it's got a lot of playability, like ongoing. It's not just going to be like some of the board games that you just play them once or twice and you're done. You can truly just spend months playing the game.
This is a D&D campaign. Yeah. Basically, this is a campaign in a box. You can play it solo. You can play it up to 4 characters. I will say that Gloomhaven was sold out for almost a year after it came out. After it was released to distributors, it wasn't until like the 42nd printing that they finally caught up with demand.
Well, we still sell out of it at the shop.
Oh, yeah.
You'll get a couple copies in, they're gone.
Yeah, but you can get it now. This was, hey, we ordered 20 copies, we received 5, and they're out the door in 30 minutes. Like one of my local gaming shops where the record they held, they received 8 copies, and in 30 minutes they were all gone. And he said that was the longest it took for him to sell 8 copies.
Yeah, but $140 to just go out to the store and buy it right now.
Yeah. But just heads up and warning, if you want in on the Frosthaven and do it, well, not only are you saving $40, you also, there's a decent chance that when they do Frosthaven, it's going to be like Gloomhaven, and it's going to be really, really hard to get for upwards of the next year.
And if I read the Kickstarter right, if you back it, you're getting Gloomhaven and any of your add-ons for Gloomhaven ahead of schedule. You're not having to wait for the Gloomhaven stuff to come out when Frostgrave comes out.
Oh, I didn't see that.
If I read that correctly, I could have sworn that's what I was reading. Is they were going to go ahead and ship the Gloomhaven stuff out in one wave, and then when Frosthaven comes out, you'll get that at the second time.
Oh, that's
obviously you're paying shipping both times, but I don't think shipping matters at that point.
Yeah,
because the box is so big and the weight of it.
All right. Well, you said something about dinner, and I'm about to go do the same thing and all that jazz, and I think my kid wants the computer back. So.
All right. Well, it was good chatting with you, Larry.
All right, I'll talk to you later, Mike.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye. So, everyone, thanks for joining us. It was cool having Mike call in on the phone and do the speakerphone thing and catch up on what's going on. This ended up being a little bit longer than what I was expecting. Sorry about no intro and stuff like that, but I just can't. Like I said, no headphones. So, if it sounds super trash, apologies. I can't listen to what I'm saying. I can't hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. Be back soon, guys. Miss y'all tons. Message us with what you've been up to. Bye.